god, I'm so angry right now because it's making me re-record my video. Alright. Here's my speech. And Waffle, who had a little freak fest in the middle of the last video. Say hi. Say hi, Brittany. Hi, Brittany. And Tina, because I know Tina gonna watch this video. Okay. Persuasive speech. I just got home from work. Sorry about the greasiness that is myself. Okay. Let's go. Sorry about my fake speech voice too, by the way. It's kind of funny. For the past 3 years, the media has been bombarded by 2 specific figures. More than 3 years for one of the 2. Whether voluntary to the idea or not, some parts of our lives have been dedicated to these 2 figures, and most times people have been prone to favor one over the other. Although the worlds of these 2 individuals involve much more than just their being, it is here in front of you that I urge you to only imagine the person. Within the next 5 minutes, I will pick these individuals apart and prove to you, once and for all, that due to his friendliness, personality, lack of enemies, and mortality, that Harry Potter would in fact make a better friend or significant other than Edward Cullen. Harry Potter grew up, and he didn't really have that many friends. He lived in a cupboard. He had a very mean cousin who made his life horrible in school. But once he was accepted to Hogwarts, things changed. His first day on the train, he meets Ron and Hermione, and they're his best friends for the rest of his life. He gets to Hogwarts, and he becomes friends with all the Gryffindors, and pretty soon the entire rest of Hogwarts. Throughout his journey of Hogwarts, he's in the Triwizard Tournament, he meets international wizards, he becomes friendly with them, and just pretty much any wizarding family he comes into contact with, he's friendly to, or he's friends with. Edward only has his family. He only has the Cullens. They're not even his family. His clan. He has the Cullens, and technically the small clan of Canadian vampires that they see once every 10 to 15 years. Edward and his siblings, they're in school and they're antisocial. They sit by themselves at lunch. They leave class before the bell rings. It's sunny outside and they can't even go outside because they're vampires and they're going to sparkle. And as seen in Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn, Edward's only friend is Bella. When you meet Harry and you become friends with Harry, you don't have to change yourself to be Harry's friend. You don't have to change who you are. And he'll still do all that he can to protect you. He'll do anything to protect your family, your friends, and the entire wizarding and non-wizarding world. And like I said, you can have your own friends in your own life, and he's not going to try to take you away from any of that or try to kill your best friend because he doesn't like them. But Edward, if you're okay with the fact that Edward constantly wants to eat you, then okay, but otherwise you're gonna have to change your form. You're gonna have to be you're gonna have to change to a vampire, and he's gonna take you away from your friends. Bella was friends with Jessica and Mike, and then she starts dating Edward, and she loses her friends because of him. And Edward pretty much only wants to protect those closest to him. He wants to protect the Cullens. He wants to protect Bella. Maybe you, if you get to that level with him, but he doesn't care about the family or the friends or the rest of the world. It's only those closest to him, and usually by protecting them, he puts them all in mortal danger. Enemies. Everyone has enemies. Social enemies, mortal enemies. But Harry Potter after Hogwarts doesn't. Voldemort's dead. The Death Eaters, they're either dead or they're in jail for the rest of their lives, but and besides some social enemies, Harry doesn't really have any, and his social enemies really aren't even a problem anymore either. The Dursleys, Harry's done with them. He leaves their house. When he leaves with the 7 Harrys, he's done with the Dursleys. He doesn't have to see them ever again. And the Malfoys, that's probably the one wizarding family that's hated Harry the most, besides Voldemort. And they're not a threat anymore because Harry saved Draco's life. He could have let Draco burn, and he didn't. And he saved his life, and the Malfoys owe everything to Harry now, so they're not totally horrible to him anymore. And Harry's job, he's an R. He's trained to ward off evils, and he's trained to ward off enemies, and he can save you, and there's not going to be anyone in the rest of Harry's life that is as bad as Voldemort was. But Edward, the Cullens have the Volturi. The Volturi are constantly after the Cullens, and you don't really understand that in the Twilight books, but as explained in the Twilight novella, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, the Volturi want the Cullens gone. They don't like them. And not only the Volturi, but the Cullens have the threat of humans, discovering who they are and what they are, and then you have other vampires who, here are this clan of vampires who stay stable, and they go to school, and they don't eat humans, and they're not very keen to that fact, so they're going to come after you too, and that's not a way to live your life. And then finally, mortality. Yeah, Harry Potter is going to die. He is. He's mortal. But he's able to grow up and live a full life and have a family and choose to stop having children. Live his life and then choose with you or with whoever that he wants to have another child. Bella and Edward can't have another child once she becomes a vampire. Harry Potter, he can work, and him and his family, they can stay still, they can stay where they are, they can live in a house for a long period of time, but Edward Cullen can't do that because he is immortal. He's a vampire. He has to repeat high school over and over again because for the rest of his being, he's going to be 17 years old. He's going to look like it. So wherever the Cullens stay, wherever they choose to take home, they have to go to school over and over and over. And if you follow the Cullens, if you go with them, you're going to lose touch with your family, and you can never change what you look like. You can never change who you are. Edward is stuck with his hairdo. That is so cool right now. He is stuck with that for all of eternity. Because he's frozen like that. His hair's not going to grow. It's not going to change. And if he cuts it, it's not coming back. So in conclusion, by reviewing the lives of both Harry Potter and Edward Cullen, I cannot imagine someone thinking Edward is more appealing than Harry. From the never-ending amount of high school to the constant threat of discovery or destruction, the life of Edward Cullen seems like a cruel nightmare next to the glamour that is Harry Potter.